Johari window in order for people to grow. Let me explain a little bit what Johari window is all about. Johari window is, the word Johari is a combination of Dr. Johari and Dr. Hari. Can't remember the full name. So they came up with this methodology to let people know the blind side. Basically, in the quadrant, you have what you know and what you want people to know quadrant. You have what you know and what you don't want people to know in another quadrant. And you have what people know that what you don't know. That is actually your blind spot. And Johari window basically focus on that, what people know about you, but you have a blind spot you don't know about yourself. So you can go and read up about Johari's window. It's well known. Just search for it and you'll get all the information required. Johari window is about giving feedback about the strengths and weaknesses of a person to the person in an open way. Right? So basically, I was already playing around with it when I was in the manufacturing. And when I came to the hotel line, in my first hotel, I had an opportunity to fine tune it. I had a young man who was very good, but he has some flaws. And the flaws is more maturity issue rather than not doing the job or not devoted to the job. So this is the process I use. Right? I actually call a town hall meeting, right? And I basically brought in the person, introduced him to the whole team, all his co-workers. We had 360, the people reporting to him, his peer, and so happened I was the boss, so I was also in the room. After I explained to everyone that this is a person we're going to be giving feedback to, we then excuse him. So what we then do is individually accumulate what are his strengths and weaknesses, right? Everyone accumulate. And as our brainstorming session, we pick up individual one by one around the room. And as we go around, and if somebody has the same point, they just cross it out. So we accumulate everything on the board. And the rule is this, I missed mentioning one more step. Then we go through a little bit, and if somebody object to a specific one because they have a different perspective, that is discussed and we make any adjustment required. The rule is this, once it's on the board and we go through that discussion, it is everyone's feedback. Nobody is allowed to say, I give the point, the other person give the point. That is considered politicking for us, right? So it's unanimous that everyone in the room agree. So at that point, we appoint a person who will use this to explain it to this person. So we asked the gentleman, I use that case as an example. He came in, and in that particular day, I was facilitating, so I explained one by one his strength and weakness. And to the shock of my life, he got so angry, he took the sheets and he tore it and threw it to the corner. And he left in a huff and a puff. Anyway, I didn't get rid of him, partly because I was going to sell the hotel very soon already. And I asked my personnel to pick up and then copy all the points. The next day, this young man knocked sheepishly on my office door, and I asked him to come in. So I said, what can I do for you? He said, I was thinking overnight I couldn't sleep. Can I have the list of all the things that people have written about me? So I just smiled and I said, you tore it away. So I threw it away. Then he didn't know how to react. Then I said, no, I'm just kidding. I've already copied it, and I will ask personnel to give you a copy. Right, so a copy was given to him, and I forgotten about it. And this one, and then about 6 months later, we sold the hotel. I was out of the hotel, and I don't know what happened, right? 4 years later on, he called me and said, can I have coffee with you? So I met up with him, and he immediately, when I sat down, he just said, the reason I want to talk to you is because I just want to thank you so much. Because ever since that day, I have been looking at my strengths and weaknesses every night for the last 4 years. And that has made me a better and more successful person. Let me share with you another case. In another hotel, in summary, at the end of the event, there was a lady, and she came up to me and said, Mr. Tan, you are Hitler and you are Nazi. I said, oh my gosh, I don't know what did I do. Anyway, continuing onwards, she left, and not again, but similar to the young man, about 4 years later, she's now in New Zealand working somewhere. She sent an email to thank me very much. She said, now I understand why you need to be so disciplined when you give that feedback to me. And I was not mature enough to understand what you are telling me. So sometimes when you make people aware of their weaknesses and they need to improve, it takes time. And my belief and our company's belief is that, we have people, we are driving a bus. People come on the bus, we help them throughout, and they get off the bus. So as long as they get off with knowledge, book and work, and how to be a better human and how to improve themselves as a person, as a family member, as a member helping the community, we have helped him on the right path for the rest of his life. And we are extremely glad we do that.